Is the Christ of the Gospels? It sounds like a ridiculous question. That's because we are ridiculously uneducated and ridiculously indoctrinated and ridiculously contaminated by the fear and guilt, blood magic control matrix that is running this planet. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. Welcome to the Christian Whistleblower channel. Job one here is to help you unindoctrinate yourself, which means guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru, realize you're divine, sovereign, and free, and you do not have original sin. You've got the spark of divinity within. Things aren't bad and getting worse. They're good and getting better. And we're bringing out knowledge that hasn't been brought out, but it's in this presentation. Maybe 5 people in 2,000 years have talked about the things that we talk about. So they're not as important as life and death. They're more important than that because they can change your life, and they do definitely affect you after your death. We're trying to make you divine, sovereign, and free even at your death. So who is the Christ of the Gospels? And this ties into the dual nature of the Gospels. And we're coming out of Caesar's Messiah. This is the end of chapter 1, believe it or not, of Caesar's Messiah. My friend Joe Atwell, who you've seen on this channel multiple times, and who you'll see on this channel again, wrote the great book. And we're bringing out the information to you. And as always, this first segment brought to you by Mystech. Those are the great bracelets that I wear. Put you in the original Schumann resonance of the earth. Put yourselves in harmony instead of chaos. We've got great blood test videos for proof on this channel. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Mystech logo or tab. When you order through here, you get 20% off. So let's get into who is the Christ of the Gospel. And one thing I want to mention, when you go to the channel, you may see multiple live streams. Just look for the time that they're scheduled. Because if you look now, there's one scheduled for the 14th. That's going to be Joe and Pierre Sabak and I. Not Joe, but everybody's talking about Joe in the chat room. Joe King will not be there, but Jay Campbell will. And Pierre Sabak will, and we'll be talking about the holographic culture. Going to be a great video. So if you go to the channel and you're like, oh, there's so many, just look at the dates, look at the times. It's just like your TV. You pick the time and the date where you want to watch and just look at the one that's coming up today. It's not that complicated. We'll get through it. We're trying to get more viewers. We're trying to get more information out there. And let's talk today about, ladies and gentlemen, the dual nature of the Gospels, a.k.a. Who is the Christ of the Gospels? As you see, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, and we're talking about the dual nature of the Gospels, ladies and gentlemen. And what am I talking about exactly? Well, I'm talking about this. The Gospels, we're talking about the Gospels written Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the Gospels that are found in the Bible, the Bible. We're talking about those Gospels. And those Gospels were written with a dual purpose. And I've already proved it to you, and I'm going to continue to prove it to you because it's very, very powerful. On the surface level, the Gospels tell a story of a miracle-working Messiah who was crucified and rose from the dead. No one was really supposed to, well, it's a deep story. Was anyone supposed to believe that there really was a miracle-working Messiah who was crucified and rose from the dead? Maybe, but the idea really was to maybe hook people with that story. But the real story of the Gospels are that the Gospels are a satire of Titus Flavius' military campaign through Judea. Jeff, you're crazy. Well, that's been said before, but we're showing you something, we're teaching you something, and we're going to show you proof of it. Now, you have to shut off the cognitive dissonance. You have to shut off the confirmation bias. You've got to pull your head out of I'll be nice, the sand, and you've got to be willing to think outside the box and outside your paradigm. I'm telling you, the Gospels were really written on their deepest level as a satire of Titus Flavius's campaign, military campaign through Judea. And I've got proof of the dual nature of these, ladies and gentlemen, of these. If I can get myself out of where I am so I can show you the dual nature, to get out of the dual nature, to show you proof of the dual nature. I was trying to hide that. Sorry. So anyway, I got it hidden. Now I can breathe again. So there is proof of the dual nature of the Gospels. First of all, and you can look this up, and I hope you do, and we'll show it to you in detail in the days and weeks to come. Jesus and Titus share parallel experiences at the same locations in the same sequence. Think about that. Jesus, Titus, same exact experiences, same locations in the same sequence. That's too exact. That's too complex, mathematically even, to have occurred by simple chance. And this fact that Jesus and Titus share parallel experiences, same locations, same sequences, has been a blind spot in scholarship for 2,000 years. And in my view, it's an intentional blind spot in scholarship. Those that look and see stop looking very, very quickly. It's like seeing your mother naked. First thing you do is turn your head away, right? Once they see this, the mother church naked, they turn their head away. And to my knowledge, there's only at most 5 of us that have brought this information to light in the last 2,000 years. This is why I say I'm the best in the world at what I do. I'm the only one in the world that does what I do. But Jeff, you said there's 4 more. Well, sort of, kind of, but not really. So there's actual proof that there is a dual nature of the Gospels, and there's a question of who is the real Christ of the Gospels. And this dual nature of the Gospels, that it's talking about Jesus and it's talking about Titus, it was meant to become apparent when people read the Gospels in conjunction with the Wars of the Jews, which was written by Josephus. And I got a little preview tip for you. The Gospels were also written in part by Josephus, and we'll identify the rest of the authors later. But you got to remember, and once you read it, you can't unsee it. It's like seeing your mother naked. You can't unsee it. The 4 Gospels and Wars of the Jews were created as a unified piece of literature whose characters and stories interact. It's amazing. And this interaction gives many of the sayings of Jesus a really darkly comical meaning, and it creates a series of puzzles whose solutions reveal the real identity of the characters in the New Testament. It's amazing when you see this and you read it and you're like, wow. And it makes perfect sense. It's like, what was the movie Da Vinci Code? There are puzzles, and they are placed in the Gospels and in the New Testament at large. Puzzles to give us truth because of the law, natural law, puzzles to trip us up, puzzles that eventually they want us to figure it out. They eventually want us to figure out that we've been worshiping Titus and the Caesars as God. But they wanted it to take a long time, and they wanted us to feel really stupid once we figured it out. And at least in my case, mission accomplished. Well played, Rome. And when you understand the darkly comedic nature of the New Testament, here's a great example. 2 of the apostles are named Simon and John. And Simon and John are actually cruel lampoons. That's like a spoof, a farce on 2 guys named Simon and John that led the Jewish rebellion. But I'm sure that's just a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that 2 guys named Simon and John led the Jewish rebellion, and the 2 guys named Simon, Peter, and John led the apostles, I'm sure that's just a coincidence. And oh, by the way, that means that John, the guy that wrote the book of Revelation, wasn't real. And neither is the book of Revelation. How long have I been telling you that, ladies and gentlemen? How long have I been telling you that the book of Revelation is not real. Well, evidently, not long enough, because not enough of you believe it yet. Not enough of you believe it yet. Not enough of you trust it yet. But we are not about to give up. We're talking about who is the Christ of the Gospels. We're talking about the dualistic nature of the Gospels. And we also want to talk, ladies and gentlemen, about the fountain of youth. Has it been found? Jeff, what are you talking about? You know, I'm taking the C60 Purple Power. It really is amazing stuff. You can see my hair is turning brown. I don't need eyeglasses to read anymore. Our food is tasting much better. That might be the fluffy. But Cynthia's hair is not coming in gray. And it's just amazing stuff. It really is the most powerful antioxidant on the planet. It gives me much more spiritual acuity. I think Cynthia would agree too, both about me and in her case. So go to c60purplepower.com. Use the code TCW10 as you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You get 10% off, and it will change your life, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee it. That C60 Purple Power. But Jeff, I can get it a lot cheaper. Yeah, but it's not real. There's only 3 people that make true C60. And our great sponsors, I think, are the best of them. So let's get back into our study and let's talk some more about who is the Christ of the Gospels. Let's talk about the dual nature of the Gospels. And let's continue to get our mind blown as we learn and we read and we understand what can't possibly be true. But as we look, we see it is true. And the problem is not enough people read. How can you read the New Testament and not read the Wars of the Jews? I don't know, but because we don't, this thing has lasted for 2,000 years. And I asked Joe Atwell if he thought that Rome thought it would last this long. And he said, yeah, but it is about time for us to figure it out. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow. I know it's something that is hard to wrap your mind around, but the ministry of Jesus really is a satire of the military campaign of Titus in Judea. And the fact that Jesus' ministry is based on Titus' campaign is meant to be seen as a darkly humorous kind of a gotcha when you view it from this perspective. And think about it. Jesus, the supposed savior of the world, in reality was a fake. He was a made-up character that served as a thin veil for the architect of the fear and guilt blood magic control matrix that we're still enslaved by to this day, and willingly so because of our own ignorance. What irony there is. Jesus sets us free. He who knows the Son, he who the Son sets free is free indeed. Well, not really. That's a perfect example of dark humor. Jesus, he who the Son sets free is free indeed. When actually Jesus is Titus and Titus enslaved the whole world. That's dark humor, ladies and gentlemen. Preach the gospel to the whole earth. And the gospel is that Titus is God. That's dark humor. That's black humor. That's black humor. But it's not all satire. It is satire. It is to make fun of people that buy it and to let them buy it and then feel stupid for buying it down the road, because Rome was very, very upset that not everybody would accept the fact that the Caesars were God. So what better way to get back at us than to make us worship Caesar as God, but not know that we're worshiping Caesar as God, then reveal to us that we've been worshiping Caesars as God and didn't know it, and rub our faces in it. It has been a great scheme, and it is working and has been working for 2,000 years, ladies and gentlemen. The fact of the matter is that the Gospels show Jesus as the messenger of the true Messiah, who is Titus Flavius. Think of the prophecies that are used by Christians to prove that Jesus was a prophet. They were all related to Jerusalem in AD 70, the destruction of Jerusalem. One was that Galilee would be overran and laid low. It happened. One is that Jerusalem would be encircled by armies. It happened. One was that the temple would be razed, and it would be razed so thoroughly that not one block would be left standing upon another. Another one of the prophecies was that the wicked generation that viewed all this would be destroyed. And they were. Galilee laid low, Jerusalem encircled, the temple razed, Jesus' most famous prophecies. Who were they all fulfilled by? Titus Flavius. And if you extend the whole New Testament, you have other prophecies fulfilled by Vespasian and by Domitian, the three Flavian emperors. Jesus was the Malachi, the messenger of the true Messiah, who was Titus Flavius. It was Titus Flavius who saved the whole Jewish nation. It was Titus Flavius, I'll show you, that created and funded and built post AD 70 rabbinic Judaism. It is Titus Flavius who built and produced and supported post AD 70 Christianity. And I'm this close to finding out where I can show you that it was also Titus Flavius and the Flavian emperors that built, supported, created post AD 70 Islam. And of course, all of Islam is post AD 70. I'm telling you, folks, they did create Christianity, no doubt. They did create modern rabbinical Judaism, no doubt. And they did create Islam. I've just got a few more dots to be able to connect, to be able to show you that, and to be able to prove you that beyond a shadow of a doubt. And to really understand the Gospels, if you really want to understand the Gospels, if you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, if you're a historian, if you really want to understand the Gospels, you've got to view the Gospels through first century eyes. How did the people that lived from AD 30 to AD 100, how did they receive and view and understand these writings? How did they receive and understand and view these writings when they came out alongside Josephus's Wars of the Jews? How did they receive them when they came out alongside Josephus's Antiquities or Histories? How did someone intimately familiar with the exact events of the conquest of Judea view the Gospels when they read them, especially when they read them alongside the works of Josephus? Those people, probably far more than us, would have got it because they lived it. And when you look at them with that perspective, it shows a very different, and I think the true meaning, that the Gospels proclaim the divinity of Caesar. And if you think that sounds ridiculous, what did King James do? A few years down the road, King James redid the Bible to do what? To support the divine right of kings. It's the same, say hello to the new boss, same as the old boss. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been tricked, we have been deceived, we have been had, and we continue to allow ourselves to be deceived. We continue to allow ourselves to be tricked. We continue to allow ourselves to be had because we refuse to recognize our mistake. We refuse to admit that we've messed up, and we refuse to come to our senses and understand what the Gospels mean, to see the dualistic nature of the Gospels, and to change our silly ways. And I've got to believe that if every one of us would have focused life force energy in our home, if every one of us would have focused life energy on our phone, we'd be much more able to see this information. I often ask myself, Jeff, why can't people see it? And I think one of the reasons why is they don't have the high consciousness on demand of the focused life force energy field. They beam it to you. It is free for 15 days on the phone, 15 days on the home, 30 days total. And I guarantee you, once you get it, you will not want to let it go. It will change your life. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the focused life force energy logo, take the trial, get the service. Cynthia and I have it both on our cell phones. We have it in our home. And I also have another special service that isn't available to the public from Fluffy, and it's amazing. It really is. And it's probably the seed and the key of how I'm able to do what I do, because it is frankly pretty amazing. And I appreciate the ability that C60 gives me in conjunction with some of the other great sponsors that we have. But folks, we've got to learn to be smart enough to admit we're wrong. And why is that so hard for so many people? Why is it so hard? And you know what? I've noticed this. I know you don't like it when I say this word, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's stupid people that don't like to admit that they're wrong. Marsden Brooks doesn't have any trouble admitting that he's wrong when he is. But it's stupid people that won't admit that they're wrong. And I just need to be able to know that at least I'm doing my best to put out the information and to get you, ladies and gentlemen, to at least look at things that are outside of your comfort zone, because there's no growth in your comfort zone, ladies and gentlemen. You've listened to me ramble on for 20 minutes. Let's go into the chat room and see what the most high consciousness chat room on YouTube has to say. Serial Dog says that NASA seems to be a little more than a front to distract the masses with disinfo. I'm about to come out with a huge blockbuster, probably 3 or 4 shows long. And I was watching some of the early NASA training videos, and I still can't believe it's true. But, you know, it comes up at the first and it says produced by Ben Joking. NASA been joking. How long NASA been joking? It's the guy. Oh, that really is his name, Jeff. Sure it is. Sure it is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a big expose coming out. I see a lot of people having fun in the chat room, and that's okay. It's okay to have some fun and games. Please do a video on the Antichrist. Scarecrow, I've done lots of videos on the Antichrist. My first book was called Apostle Paul Antichrist. And the main thing you've got to know about the Antichrist is that the Antichrist is not some future boogeyman that's coming. Is it Reagan? Is it Obama? Is it Trump? Is it Hillary? Is it Pelosi? Is it Jeff? Believe it or not, I get it. The Antichrist is history, not future. The Antichrist was revealed, according to Daniel's prophecy, in AD 70, when the temple was destroyed at Jerusalem. Go on my channel, type in Antichrist in the search bar, and you'll find the videos that I did about the Antichrist. And it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do another video about the Antichrist, because a lot of people still wonder. And those pull super, super big numbers too. And we want to get the information out to the most people. So Cynthia TT got her C60. She just got it a few minutes ago, and it was super fast delivery. Unlike this tag. Halo's a lot of things, but fast is not one of them. Thorough, solid, true, a real gem, but not fast. So I'll just throw that disclaimer out there, ladies and gentlemen. Just throw that disclaimer out there. And please, as Cynthia says, TT, keep us posted on how you're doing. It is an amazing product. It really is an amazing product. Does the Christian God eat the saints? Scripture says if you are lukewarm, he'll spew you from his mouth. He likes his people, victuals, hot or cold. Brad, that is brilliant. I don't know why I haven't thought about that and done a podcast about it. Think about it. God eats, it's an admission. This is a perfect example of dark humor. Dark humor. And Jesus said this, it's red letters. Jesus says that if you're lukewarm, he'll spit you out of his mouth. He's eating all of you. It's an admission that they're vampirizing your energy. They're eating you for their sustenance. It's an admission. So you want to get spewed out of their mouth. So you want to be objective, as Brad suggests. You want to be skeptical, as Brad suggests. You want to distance yourself, as Brad suggests. So they will spit you out of your mouth. You don't want to be fully consumed by the monster. You want to get away. Brad, salute for that brilliant channel. Or that brilliant, I start looking at things and I say it, that brilliant subject. Teresa Scott says, debate other channels. It'll bring in new viewers. Obviously, it has the potential to double the views on that video, but you will sway people your way. Teresa Scott, you're 100% right. And that's why nobody will debate me. I mean, nobody. I started high, Marzulli, Scotty Clark, high in numbers of subscribers. Marzulli, Scotty Clark, no, we won't debate you. Nine Nanya, no, we won't debate you. She won't even look in the mirror. She's so nutty. Derek Bros, no, he won't debate me either. And then I went to a guy, he's got like 2,000 subscribers. He won't debate me. Why? I'm a nice, lovable guy. In a debate, I'm very gentlemanly. I'm very scholarly. I'm very dialectic. I don't go ad hominem. We talk about the text. We talk about the subject. But they still know that getting into a debate with me is signing up for an ass whipping. They know that they'll look stupid in front of their subscribers because you can't argue against plain, basic, text-based reality. Teresa, I've tried it. They won't debate me. Marzulli won't debate me. Scott Clark won't debate me. Brother Breaker, I've asked. He won't debate me. Who else did I ask? Begley, he won't debate me. Nine Nanya won't debate me. Little Beanie Boy Derek Bros won't debate me. They want nothing to do with me because they can't handle the truth. Even though you deserve it, like Tom Cruise said, I think we deserve the truth. You do, but all those people I just mentioned, they can't handle the truth. So on we go, doing our very, very best, ladies and gentlemen, doing our very, very best. Let's see what else we got. Thank you, Carol. That's all I know how to do. Fortunately, I'm halfway decent at it because people keep listening. And Cynthia likes Mausden too. We're always great to see Mausden around here. Josephus worked for Titus as his scribe. Well, it's actually deeper than that, Brad. Josephus was adopted by the Flavians. That's why Josephus' name is Flavius Josephus. He was adopted by Titus, and he became the official historian of the Roman Empire. So, Seven Oceans, yes, it is a known fact that, and I've talked about it on a show before. I'll give you the brief. Josephus was commander of the Galilean army. He got captured. He was waiting for Titus to kill him. Some say it was Vespasian. Either way, it was either dad or son. And he got this revelation from God while he's being held captive that it was really Titus who was the Messiah, and that God of the Jews had taken the favor from the Jews and turned it over to Rome. Josephus was preaching what I'm preaching to you. Josephus was showing what I'm showing to you. So Josephus said this to Titus. Titus said, okay, you can be my official historian. We'll adopt you into the family. That is a known fact, Seven Oceans. Brad was even more right than he knew he was right. And that's what I hope you find out as you watch this show, that you're even more right than you thought you were, ladies and gentlemen. And isn't it a great thing to find out that you're more right than you think you are? And since we've been talking about that C60, folks, it is really, really great stuff. I don't think I put it up, but the C60 Purple Power, yeah, I did put it up. Try it. It'll change your life. And another thing that we're promoting that I think is so, so important, and I know people think it's a joke, they think it's a spoof, but ladies and gentlemen, male virility is under attack. Our penises are under attack, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to make men shadows of themselves. They're trying to make women shadows of themselves because men are shadows of themselves. And they're trying to drive down our vitality so it's easy for us to be controlled. They're trying to stop our recreation so there's fewer of us. And that's why I am taking action with Jay Campbell and many other well-known content providers to get the rocket into your hands. What is the rocket? It takes a technology that's $500 per visit in a clinic, and you need at least 12 of them, and puts it in your hands right now for less than the cost of one of those treatments. And it will destroy all of the plaque so blood flows completely and fully, and it will stimulate new capillary growth so more blood flows more fully. And you know, more blood in that situation means better, longer, stronger, more satisfying, making men great again, making women great again, making sex great again. The rocket. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com. Click on that rocket logo and get ready for liftoff, ladies and gentlemen. And I do mean ladies and gentlemen. So it is an absolute fact. We've gone through that. The book of Revelation makes no sense and is written to give the reader a millennial migraine. You're right. And it's a millennial mind game as well. And when we get to it, you'll see how it makes perfect sense. But it doesn't make perfect sense until you realize that Domitian, Titus's brother, who was then emperor, wrote it. And Domitian wrote Revelation. I'll give you a little preview. Domitian wrote Revelation to make himself the Holy Spirit, which, by the way, Parakletos, Holy Spirit, is a word from the technical terms of the imperial cult. I point at my whiteboard. He also wrote Revelation to create the Trinity: Vespasian, Titus, Domitian. And he also wrote the Revelation to show those three as being the conquerors of the world. Wait till we get to Revelation. It's going to blow your mind. Archon Buster is absolutely right. Carly P is absolutely right. Roman fairy tales can come true. They can happen to you. They have. Casey, don't feel bad. I felt really stupid. You know how to feel even more stupid than how long it took you to wake up to Rome and Titus? Feel stupid for how you taught it for 20 years, not knowing what it was wonderful. Not one of the all-powerful God's children have enough clout or are game enough to debate Jeff. They fear him. I love that tongue in cheek, but evidently it's true. Evidently it's true. And I'm still standing here and I'm still ready to take any takers as long as it's live and as long as you have a couple thousand subscribers and up, because it's got to be worth my time, to be very, very frank with you. Joe will be coming back really soon. And the loose plan is for me to go out to where Joe lives, spend some time with him and bring you some Jeff and Joe in the same place type of broadcasting. C60 is anti-aging. It does start youthing you. That's very, very true. Good stuff. Good stuff. It is crazy, and I am glad that we're waking up. Somebody says, please be careful. I will. I'm not worried. I'm right here. And when you don't fear anything anymore, including death, well, then it's not, there's nothing to fear, right? And Jesus saves by using coupons. and Jesus saves us so the archons can eat us later. And Brad puts in with something that we already went through. Let's see. And this is an interesting question by Teresa. It's a fair question. Why do I want to live longer than necessary in this life? Well, Teresa, I am changing the world. And right now, I'm in the mindset of I'm not looking to just barely escape out of here. I'm looking to take some people with me. I'm not looking to put on a suicide vest and blow up 10 people. I'm looking to bring down the whole paradigm. And that's going to take a little time. And I want to be as strong, as healthy, and as powerful as I can be so I can do maximum damage for as long a time as is needed to bring this whole fear, guilt, blood magic, control matrix tumbling down. That's what I'm here for. And that's why I want to live long, Teresa. Very, very fair question. And I hope at least an answer that makes sense to you. Great answers here. Great questions in here. Is there anyway? Titus was a madman. His cruelty is historic. Yeah, he was a Roman Caesar. I think it's a prerequisite for the job. Let's see. Tracy's right. This channel is not about what you believe. This channel is about what I believe. And while we welcome your comments, we don't welcome you to try to hijack the audience that we've worked hard to build. So Tracy has my full support, ladies and gentlemen. And she's right. And you're not. All right. What else we got going here? Let's see. Oh, this is good. Thank you. Jules says, no, that's not the one, but I'll see what Jules said after that. We did raise the God game to a new level with the Tulpa video. That was powerful. It was on yesterday. What did Jules say? My boyfriend gave it to me. Oh, sorry. Hopefully we're just talking about a cold or something like that. News Unit will debate you anytime here on YouTube Live. Well, have News Unit contact me, and I got to know how many subscribers News Unit has, and it has to be live. Have them contact me. They can do it at Jeffrey Daugherty. Just go to jeffreydaugherty.com and hit the contact button, and I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game. We are ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got through the chat in record time today. A lot of great stuff coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, we've got Halo Marquise from Mystech. Tuesday, we've got Pierre Sabak, who wrote the Holographic Culture, and my great friend Jay Campbell for a great three-way discussion. On Wednesday, we've got Ken Schwartz from the C60 Purple Power coming in, not to talk about C60 Purple Power, but to talk about the idea of the devotio carrying through from the old Roman military into the U.S. military. Sorry, Jules, didn't mean to make you laugh. Didn't know that you were in pain. And Sergio says this: how do we combat? Wow, looks like a movie star. How do we combat Roman governed AI? It seems like a massive game changer. Sergio, here's the thing that I take solace in. I know that AI is just trying to duplicate what we already have. It's trying to duplicate our stop, reset, 10 minutes, boom. It's trying to duplicate what we already have. And they won't be able to duplicate what we have. So we will always have the upper hand. That's how I view it. And thank you for watching, Sergio. And I think I'm right on that. I really do. I think I'm right on that. I wish we could get David Icke. Well, we made a lot of offers to Mr. Icke. He's welcome to come on the program. But, we got to keep moving on, and we won't be asking again. I'd still love to have him on if he'd like to come on. I can guarantee you that we won't have Cuba Gooding Jr. on the channel, even if he wants to come on. But that's another long, sad story. Oh, you think he looked like Cuba Gooding Jr.? No. Sergio is much better looking than Cuba Gooding. Much better looking than Cuba Gooding, in my opinion. Much better looking than Cuba Gooding. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of good stuff coming up this week. We've got a great lineup. We've got a lot of information coming. And the whiteboard is over half full. So there's just a lot of good stuff coming on. A lot of good stuff and a lot of good information coming forth. And I don't want you to forget, ladies and gentlemen, about our friends at Hero Soap. Right now, if you buy a subscription from Hero Soap where you can let Freedom clean, they'll give you 20% off your subscription. And they'll also send a free subscription, ladies and gentlemen, to a American troop in the field. Street King has some reservations on Ike, but he knows what. Reservation on Ike, but what do I know? Oh, I see. I gotcha. Archon Buster, David Ike is not what people think, but not a lot of love in the room for David Ike. Very, very interesting. The interview with Pierre will be fascinating for sure. I can't wait. Look up Holographic Culture. He's a fascinating guy. I don't believe everything that he believes as I'm reading the book, but I'm not here to just give you my beliefs. I'm here to give you a breadth of information and allow you to decide. Oh, somebody says unblock Dave from News Unit. Well, if Dave got blocked, then Dave probably got some issues. So I'm not going to unblock Dave, but Dave is welcome to send me an email at the aforementioned email or contact me through the website, and I'll look at talking to him. But no, if he got blocked, he's blocked for a good reason. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate you very, very much. And I don't think I'll be back tonight with any more podcast excellence, but it is possible because you never know when inspiration is going to strike. There's a dual nature of the Gospels. Titus is the real Christ of the Gospels, and it's becoming more and more clear. It's time for you folks. It's time for all of us to unindoctrinate ourselves and continuing to unindoctrinate ourselves. We're divine. We're sovereign. We are free, ladies and gentlemen. We are not filled with original sin. We've got the spark of divinity within. We're divine. We're sovereign. We're free. And we are the last generation of real humans. Winners write history. We're going to step it up a notch. We're going to win now and write a better today that will flow into a better tomorrow. For Cynthia L., I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, and we do salute you for being here, seeking after truth. Please subscribe. Please make sure you are subscribed. Tap on the bell, and you will always be notified of our latest podcast excellence. We appreciate you very, very much. And I hope that you have an amazing and a wonderful evening. And Cynthia's wishing you that too. Again, folks, we salute you for being here, seeking after truth.